If you're after easier access and a clean look for your 2020 and newer JT Gladiator, and you don't want to spend a ton of money for it, then you're going to want to check out these Barricade 6-inch running boards. These bring a clean look and offer lots of easy access for the cabin of your JT, and they're going to do it for a really great price. Now I know most of this comes down to personal preference, but when it comes to running boards, I'm a big fan of a simple option. These are a more traditional style running board that are the same width front to back. The design here is pretty classic, and they give you exactly what you need out of a side step without a whole lot of fuss. Now there is a bit of visual interest which we'll get into, but these are going to feature 6-inch wide steps, and since they are running boards, they're going to span the full length of your wheelbase. That means you've got a nice wide step that allows you plenty of access to the cabin or bed space or even the roof should you need it. And there are these 2 integrated step pads below each door for additional grip as well, even in the slipperiest of conditions. But since these are running boards, you can put your feet pretty much anywhere. And these are also pretty low profile. They're rather thin, they've got a little bit of a step up back here to give it a bit more visual interest, but they aren't super chunky and they do tuck up pretty close to the rocker panels. So even if you're out there hitting some trails, you're less likely to get these caught on obstacles and they won't detract too much from your breakover angle. It's kind of the best of all worlds here. While you do have to sacrifice some ground clearance just by nature of having these on there, you're still going to be able to access your truck easily and you don't have to sacrifice too much capability. And again, though I know styling is subjective, I really enjoy the clean, low-profile design here, and I think these blend in well without detracting from the look of the JT. And from a distance, especially from the side of the truck, you may not even notice that they're on there at first. The steps are constructed from steel and they're topped off with a 2-stage finish. First is an epoxy pre-coating, which is followed by the black powder coat that you see here. And this material has a little bit of a texture to it, and it's going to give you plenty of resistance to rust and corrosion, so it should keep these looking good for a long time to come. The bracketry, which is all included in the kit, is made from the same steel and features the same coating, so everything will be well matched and equally durable. You've also got those step pads that we were talking about here. These are made from ABS plastic, and they have these integrated grips here to make getting into and out of the Gladiator much easier. That ABS construction means that these will match quite well with any other plastic trim you might have on your truck, and they should also be quite durable. Pricing comes in at about $325, and that makes these some of the most affordable running boards available for the Gladiator. I would argue that they're some of the cleanest and best looking boards you can get, especially for the money, and that solid construction just makes them even more of a value proposition. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 2 hours to complete. Now this is a totally bolt-on installation process, so you don't have to make any permanent modifications or drill anything on your Jeep to get them fitted. Everything you need comes included in the kit, and they're just going to bolt right on using factory mounting points. Not much more I can say about it here, so with that, let's head on out to the shop and we'll walk you through that installation process step by step.
For this install, you need a ratchet, a 17, 13, and 10 millimeter socket, and a 17 and 10 millimeter wrench. All right, today we're going to be installing some running boards on our Gladiator, so let's get started. So we're going to start underneath the truck by putting on our brackets. Now our brackets are 2-piece, so they are all labeled. You see passenger front on our 2 pieces, and passenger center and passenger rear. They all bolt up about the same. The front are just slightly different with our secondary bracket, so you see compared to our 2 middle brackets, but they bolt pretty much identically. So we're going to go get our front one on now. We're going to start with our main bracket here. Now we're going to grab our longest bolt with a lock washer and our largest flat washer. We're just going to thread that in our factory threaded hole up here. We're just going to get everything loosely installed, and then we'll tighten everything down. Now we have our secondary bracket, which is going to fit right about here. So we're going to grab 2 of our smaller 10 millimeter bolts. We have a flat washer on the outside, and we're going to put a flat washer on the inside with our nut. And then same thing on the other side. Then as for the middle here, we're going to have our bolt. You can go through the front or the back, doesn't really matter, but we have a flat washer. And we're going to stick another flat washer and then our locking nut on the back side. Just like that. Now we're going to start with our main bolt up top. So we're going to grab a ratchet and a 13 millimeter socket. Just get that in place and tighten that down. Then we're going to switch to our 10 millimeter socket and a 10 millimeter wrench and tighten our 2 secondary bracket bolts down. And then our last bolt, 17 millimeter hardware, so 17 millimeter socket and 17 millimeter wrench. Now we're gonna come back to our center one. Just gonna show you quickly how to install this one, just because it looks slightly different with our center bracket, but it all installs the same way. Get your center bracket up here, and this one is just going to be on the back side of this main bracket. Go ahead and tighten that all down with the same tools, starting with a 13, then your 10s, and then finally your 17. Now you can go ahead and do the same thing for the rear bracket. Now we're gonna get ready to put our step on. Now your steps are side dependent, make sure you have the right one. This one is labeled P right there, you'll see that. On the bottom side, you'll see threaded holes. So you're gonna grab our bolts with our washers already assembled on them. That's what's gonna mount our steps to our brackets. So we'll flip our step over, just set it on our brackets, and we'll go underneath and get our bolts installed. Next, we're gonna come under and get our bolts in. As you see, I already have this one in. Also have the other two mounting locations, just thread it in place, just to get it aligned into position. Just gonna thread this in. Grab our ratchet and 13 millimeter socket and tighten these two down. Then you can go ahead and do the same thing in the other two mounting locations. Now that you have this step all secured and adjusted to where you want, you can go to repeat those same steps on the other side of the truck. And that wraps up our install of our Barricade 6-inch running boards for a 2020 and newer Jeep Gladiator JT. And remember, for everything Jeep, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.